think we are in week 7 of our hibernation. How are you doing so far? I know I'm having my moments when I'm going a bit squirrely, so, I understand if you're not feeling very relaxed right now. Some of you may be doing just great. But if you're not, we've got a very interesting show today. We're going to be talking about, do you need to relax? No drugs required. We're just going to use healing energy. And my guest today is going to be an old friend of mine, Deanna Papineau. And you're going to share in our reunion because we actually haven't spoken, we realized, in 23 years. And so it's a very nice, happy day for both of us. And I consider it one of the gifts of the coronavirus that I'm reconnecting with some old friends. And I knew Deanna up in Whistler 25 years ago. We met just after I lost my fiance, and I've always loved her really calm, down-to-earth energy. And she's very salt of the earth. I call her salt of the earth. And she is a registered aromatherapist and a Reiki Master. So she's very good at helping people relax. But I'm sure you'll agree with me when you hear her voice. You'll just feel like, ah. So the other thing, just before the show, I was listening to a channeling from the Pleiadians that's on YouTube for 2020. And one of the things I thought it was funny, that the lady, I think her name is Brenda Bralach or something, was saying as she channeled that we need to relax. We need to relax. We don't need to get into the panic. Everything's good. Everything's on track. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue inviting guests on who have something to offer in the way of healing, relaxation, and spiritual awakening, because the shift is happening. So whether you're aware or not of your stress levels at this time, we all know that relaxation is really good. We need to feel good. It's good for our physiology. It's good for our mental health. And it's psychically good as well, because when we relax, we can get more into our intuition. And that's one of the other things that the Pleiadians were saying, that intuition, and I've been saying this for 25 years, is going to be the language I think that we're all going to be using to speak to each other. So we need to get into our feelings. And when we get into our feelings, we need to be relaxed. So, as I said, Deanna's going to come on the show today. And, even before COVID-19, I just want to point this out before we get into our topic, is that the local university here reported that the anxiety levels in the university, 40% of the students had actually contemplated taking their own lives. And that anxiety can lead to depression. And we're already aware that depression can be creeping in for some people. When people are alone for a long time, it's like being in solitary. And not everybody can cope very easily with that. I was saying on a show the other day that it is an opportunity to face ourselves and our demons, but it's to love ourselves through this. So looking in the mirror and loving our warts and all. So it's obvious that we need to change not just ourselves, but our society. And we've got to learn how to relax more, like Pleiadians were saying, and learn how to chill without taking sleeping pills and medications, or, the dreaded opioids. So, hi, Suzanne. Thanks for joining us. This is a really great topic. So my intention in doing all the work I do, especially these Facebook Lives, is to really bring awareness to all the people that are ready and willing and able to open up our amazing minds. We're in this shift, we're going very much from being in the physical realm, we're going much more into the energetics. And what Deanna will be talking about will be a lot about energetics as well. So because our frequency is increasing, it's lightening up, we're moving away also from the medical system, from the drugs and that kind of thing. And we're going more into self-care, using our energy, like Reiki that Deanna's going to talk about, into learning how we can really manage our health better instead of getting sick and then going to the hospital. So it's going to be much more preventative. And because we're going to be in a higher frequency, we're going to be much more sensitive to that energy as well. So Deanna is a wonderful registered holistic aromatherapist and Reiki master. And I want to thank you, Deanna, for coming on today and being with us and teaching us how we can relax. So when you're ready, I'm going to, if it's okay with you, Deanna, I'm just going to read a little bit about you and your bio. So Deanna says, through the power of custom blended essential oils and Reiki, she helps her clients experience the healing flow of energy and relaxation, reducing stress, calming and balancing the client's emotional, physical, and spiritual selves. With 800 hours of training with the British Columbia Alliance of Aromatherapy and 10 years of experience, Deanna is a member of the National Association for Holistic Aromatherapy. Her jury research paper was accepted at one of Canada's most accredited schools, the West Coast Institute of Aromatherapy, as well as having completed many stateside trainings in chakras, TCM meridians with essential oil use. So Deanna is also a master level Reiki practitioner and teacher in Usui Reiki. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
Usui. She is a passionate home-based entrepreneur who also enjoys teaching local workshops on awareness and safety precautions while having fun creating blends and acquiring more purposes for aromatherapy. Deanna is also a level 3 ski instructor teaching at Mount Washington and a super mom, I can vouch for that, living in beautiful Comox Valley. So let's begin, Deanna. So I know that a lot of people are very familiar, as I myself, with the term Reiki and aromatherapy, but just a lot of people don't really understand how it works and what it means. So we're just going to assume for argument's sake that nobody really understands. So we're going to kind of start from the base. So tell me, what is Reiki?
Thank you, Natasha. Before I start, I just want to thank you very much for having me today. And also for Michael in the background. And I hope I can get my message across today. And thank you for the opportunity. So first of all, I'm smelling some aromatherapy of rosemary to help my memory with what I would like to cover today. So yes, Reiki is incredible. It's hands-on energy healing technique that's rediscovered by Dr. Usui of Japan. And I did my Reiki study in 2004 when I lived in Whistler and where I met Natasha. And I completed my Reiki study master level in 2009 in Royston on Vancouver Island.
Okay. So, yeah, I know I've had some Reiki sessions before and I've just found them so fantastic, just completely relaxing. And I found it sent me, like you say, into a deep sleep and I was snoring and it just, the benefits went on for days. So I'm a big fan of Reiki, but can you explain, I understood that is it channeled? Are you channeling something from your higher power, do you believe, or how does it work in that way?
Reiki comes through the practitioner to
Yes.
the recipient, and
Yes.
the energy of the universal energy. So it's not my energy, but I'm the facilitator through how the Reiki comes.
Right. Right. And how does I know you can do it remotely. How does that work?
Yeah, and it's quite interesting. It's the same as doing hands-on work, though the recipient is distant, whether they're in your hometown or across the world. It's energy, and energy follows intention. So the Reiki practitioner will need to have studied the level 2 information to do the distance work. And the recipient will, at the time that the appointment is set, can either have a little afternoon quiet time or a meditation or just go to bed and have a little fall asleep, even a bath if they like, or be out in nature. It really depends on how the recipient would like to receive. And the Reiki would then be dialed up, so to speak, and sent to the recipient to receive. And the Reiki goes again where it's needed in the body, releasing physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual issues.
The main thing is right now, and we're hearing reports of this, that women's shelter, the need for women's shelters, for example, is increasing, which says to me that's just a symptom of a situation of people not being relaxed, maybe people venting their anger, being abusive. I'm sure the abusers who were already abusing before this are probably feeling very, very stressed, because that's probably one of the reasons they abuse in the first place. And, you know, being hemmed in, or if you consider yourself to be hemmed in, can be very, very stressful. And this is why I'm always talking about, let's use the energy that's available to us. Let's use our minds to really visualize where we could be, visualizing yourself being a child playing with your friends on a sandy beach on a sunny day. What is your favorite memory of being outside and feeling free? Because, you know, we can go to that free place. And actually what happens to the body is when we visualize that freedom, it actually has a physiological effect, and it soothes us, it calms us down. As Michael's wife, Darlene, would say, it gets us probably to 0 point, or helps us get to 0 point. So we have a lot of tools available to us. And Diana's back. Diana's back. Thank you. So, you know, what we're talking about here with Deanna is just another tool that we can use to relax. So, Deanna, let's try your volume again and see if it's any better now.
Hello?
Oh, that sounds better.
Yeah.
So, oh, much better. So, what I was talking about was, when you do Reiki at a distance, do you need permission? I know some people say, Deanna, send me some Reiki because I'm going squirrely. But other people, I have a friend, for example, who's in hospital in Halifax in Nova Scotia right now. She's going in for a massive heart operation. And, you know, she's asked me to pray for her, and I want to send her lots of healing light. So she's asked me, so I will send it. But do you always want permission from the person before you send Reiki?
It is helpful. I mean, that is one of the principles of Reiki, is that a person must ask for Reiki. But I also believe that if you send Reiki with intention, or you can check in sort of intuitively, like I will do that for family and some close friends. And if I get a feeling that they're open to it for a situation, then of course I will. It's all about love and light and energy intention.
Yeah. And if I this is a funny story, because as you know, my mother was psycho, and I would pray for her, and I thought I can imagine these prayer thoughts going over to her, and she was like a porcupine, and these little prayer thoughts going bing 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 over her aura, you know, because she did not want to be healed. That's the
Right.
the kind of information I got. So it's okay. Like, people ask me, is it okay to send people good energy if they really don't want it? And I said, if they don't want it, they won't receive it. So it's pretty simple. But it's always nice to ask permission, I think.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, you sound so much better, Deanna. So thank you for doing that. So let's get into the aromatherapy, because I know more about Reiki than aromatherapy, and I know it's got to do with smell. So just can you give us a 101 in aromatherapy?
Absolutely. Yeah, aromatherapy is incredible. I have been blending aromatherapy products for about 11 years, and there's a clinical approach and a holistic aromatherapy. And the clinical aromatherapy is what I've been trained in both, but is the art of blending essential oils safely for a desired outcome. So an example could be a headache or a wound healing, to keep it simple. And holistic aromatherapy is choosing essential oils for their therapeutic properties. And this assists the essential oils decision that go into creating the custom blend for a client. And the focus of the blend is to support the client on all levels. So all levels being physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual.
Now, is that an intuitive thing? How do you decide which blend somebody needs?
Well, what I do is I do a clinical assessment that has many, many questions, and find out about somebody's health, obviously, their and if they have any allergies, if they have anything, if they're on some medications, if they're pregnant, the age that they are, and that sort of thing. There's got to be a lot of safety that goes involved. And then coming up with a blend that will serve the purpose of what the outcome will be, and how we're going to use that application, whether we do a personal inhaler, we make a massage blend, I could do a spray, a bath application. There's all sorts of ways to come up with the appropriate blend for the appropriate person for the appropriate time. And then we also blend with chemistry in mind, safety in mind. And then I work with my intuition, and I think about the chemical components of the oils. And then I also have a little bit of sacred geometry training for my blending. So it's a real art. And sometimes when I'm blending for someone, I take a few days to really think about the priorities to address and what will really be the priority outcome.
Well, that kind of leads me to the question, do you and your client set intention for a particular outcome? I mean, it's pretty simple. If I've got a rash on my arm or something, obviously you want the rash to be gone. But do you talk about intention at all, or do you interview the person before you go into the blends?
Usually, absolutely. I often will spend a half an hour doing a clinical blending assessment, and absolutely go from there. And yeah.
And what if somebody is, I know I've gone to see some practitioners, and I don't know where it comes from, but a resistance comes up. Do you ever deal with that? People actually being resistant to getting well?
Yes, everybody is on their own healing journey, I believe. And sometimes people can have one Reiki aromatherapy session and just have an incredible experience that they share. And sometimes they won't have anything to share, or sometimes it'll take 2 and 3 and 4 times to see someone before a change is made. And that is the beauty of the Reiki and the aromatherapy, is because it does go where the body needs. And sometimes when we make a blend, we think it's only for the physical, but really and truly a lot of it is emotional and spiritual, working behind the scenes to assist the whole body healing.
Well, yeah, I would agree with you totally on that, because I know when I do readings, and I'm a bit of a medical intuitive, not full blown, but I can sense where in the body there's resistance, and I can sense the emotion behind it. And to me, I always say that the body is the messenger of the spirit. So if the spirit is ill at ease, it will communicate somewhere in the body. So somebody's very angry, for example, it'll show up maybe in the liver, or sometimes there's headaches or something like that. So you kind of work backwards. You start with the body and kind of work that. Is that how you work as well, or you just kind of get your answers from asking the questions?
Well, there's the whole traditional training side, which is the questionnaire and working through the safety aspects. And then I look at the holistic approach, and I always check in with the emotional components with someone. And whether they're aware of it or not, they usually, once we start asking a few questions about emotions, then some words tend to appear and some information seems to come forth, so to speak. And from that, I can then with my knowledge of the oils and the spiritual side of the oils, know where to add some spiritual oils to the blend to connect. Yeah.
So it's a bit like being a detective.
I think I'm a detective.
I think you are.
Yeah.
I suddenly realized that about myself as a psychic. I'm always looking underneath the rug. What's really going on here? So
Yeah.
that's
Well,
very, very fascinating.
Aromatherapy is so fascinating because each oil has a unique combination of chemical constituents, and the essential oils enter our body two different ways. And the two main ways that I talk about safety-wise is, the first one is inhalation, which is just that. What I did at the beginning of the session was inhalation, smelling, which then goes up into the olfactory and up into the limbic system, which is so powerful and profound, because within seconds of smelling something, we can release and get a reaction to that oil immediately. For example, somebody might smell lavender and just go, "Ooh, I didn't like that." And they have a memory of something where lavender just wasn't their favorite experience. Or someone else can smell lavender and just be in absolute joy and calmness. So the limbic system is super powerful. And the second way that the essential oils enter our body is topically. And they get in through our skin and into the body systems. And we have 8 body systems, which are the nervous system, the endocrine system, our circulation and immune system, the skin, our respiratory system, digestive system, urinary system, and the reproductive system. And right now, what's so important is, I believe, the nervous system, the circulatory immune, and our respiratory system. We really, really need to keep those strong right now to help keep our body in balance from the stress levels, to keep our respiratory system strong. So if we do come into, flus and other things out there, that our bodies hopefully can just fight it off right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also the nervous system, the respiratory system, the immune system. We've got to keep ourselves healthy. To keep ourselves healthy is really, truly beautiful.
So in aromatherapy, are there any kind of usual blends that you would, or smells that you would recommend for those 3 systems? So that if people can't, I mean, at the end of the show, people will refer people to you so that you can ask these questions. But if they're not able to find you, or for whatever reason, are there some that you would recommend?
Absolutely. So some of the oils, I'll see if this answers your question. Some oils that are helpful for fighting off fear, boosting our immune system, meaning that they have antiviral properties, would be something like fir oil. Lemon is very, very high on that range. Geranium, cedarwood, frankincense, hyssop, basil, oregano for sure, tea tree, ravinsara, myrrh, lemongrass, nioli, melissa, spruce. I mean, there's lots of oils that can work in those systems to help. And again, it depends on how you apply the oil safely and how you blend it, which might just lead me into talking about some of those ways. Would that be what you'd like to know?
That would be absolutely good, because I was going to ask you, when you mentioned safety precautions, what are those safety precautions? So I can speak to
There's
that,
a lot.
sure.
In fact, when I first started studying aromatherapy, I'm like, oh man, this is intense. There's so much to know. I think I'm going to walk away now. And then I thought, I can't. It's a passion. I have to continue with this journey. And when it's a Friday night and I have nothing to do, I'm studying chemistry and aromatherapy. Like, how boring is that?
Wow. No, that's wonderful. We need people like you, Deanna. So
okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, I just had a funny story about being unsafe. A friend of mine, I won't mention any names, she actually got some oregano oil, and she thought it was to be inhaled. So I know you know how strong oregano oil is, and she put it in her nose and took a massive sniff, and she said she thought her head was going to blow off. So Please, people, pay attention to Deanna. She talks about safety.
Oregano is a very, very potent oil. We like to call it a hot oil in that it's high in phenols. It's there to do a job, but yeah, you've got to be careful with what you use it for and how long you use it for.
Yes.
Yeah. So something that I like to do for clients and myself, I don't know if you can see this, it looks like a little tampon. It's not.
Lovely.
It's a little personal inhaler. And so what you do is unscrew it from the bottom, and inside is a little wick, so to speak, and you fill it with the essential oil that you'd like to use for whatever reason you're using it. And then simply, for instance, when I was studying aromatherapy, I thought, how am I going to do this as an elderly mom going back to school? So I used rosemary in my inhaler, and I would simply, before studying, I would smell it and affect my limbic system to stimulate to remember my memory. Also very good for people that might be elderly in age and heading into some mental challenges, so we will say. But I mean, you can also use a personal inhaler to assist for sleep. I have one at my nightstand, and it has lavender and jasmine in it. And so if I'm having trouble sleeping, which isn't very often, I will just simply smell my inhaler, which will bring me into the la-la dreamland, slow down the nervous system, and go to sleep.
Yes, beautiful.
So inhalers are lovely. Another thing that is really, really helpful is to have an aromatherapy bath. And it's incredible different ways that you can use the essential oils in a bath. What I like to do is get about half a cup of Epsom salts and then put in about 8 or 10 drops of the oil desired, that's safe. And then what you do is shake it up so that the essential oil goes into the salt. And then when you pour your bath, the water is flowing. You simply will put it into the flowing water to help it disperse in, and then jump in, relax, enjoy, and remember to inhale the beautiful aroma so you get your inhalation, application, and your topical through the skin.
That sounds lovely, because I was going to ask, getting back to methods of relaxation, can you use them where you meditate? In the bath, you've already answered. Sleeping, you've already answered. What other suggestions would you have? Could you use it while you're walking or while you're working, reading?
Meditation absolutely is a fabulous way. An inhaler works great for meditation. Having a bath works great for meditation, as long as you don't get too sleepy. And so frankincense is great, or jasmine, myrrh, sandalwood. Those oils are very, very, very great to work for meditation, because meditation can expand our awareness, and the addition of essential oils can bring us back or regain our inspiration, so to speak. It can also help us see that light at the end of the tunnel that we are all looking for right now.
So I know that you kindly promised to do a chakra blend for me as a sample, and I'm excited about that. And I said to you, if I'd spoken to you yesterday, I would have said, Deanna, send me something to give me like 5,000 volts, because I was so tired. And I think I was absorbing the Schumann resonance. And I think Michael and I were both feeling this. It was just like, oof, I felt drugged, and I wanted something to kind of wake me up. But what is a chakra blend?
Well, chakra blends are pretty profound. It's something that I studied a lot of when I was in the States on my first beginning of my essential oil journey, so to speak. So I create chakra blends with essential oils, and I put them in a carrier oil like coconut, and I usually do up about a 10 ml bottle. And then let's see. Okay, so when deciding on a chakra blend, I tune in, so to speak, to the priority chakra of the client that needs the chi or the energy or a reboot, so to speak. So examples at this time, I find the chakra blends that come up most often are root chakra, heart chakra, and the third eye chakra.
Interesting.
So the root chakra is our roots to the earth. It's our vitality to our physical body. It's our survival, our life force. So it assists grounding. Obviously, grounding is our root. It's our physical health chakra, and it is our trust. So at this time, we so need to trust in the process where our, yes, trust. So some oils that assist the root chakra, well, there's many, but ones that I like to work with are cedarwood and sandalwood, and go figure, they're tree oils, so that helps with their roots ground. Benzoin's a great oil, bergamot, ylang ylang, jasmine, vetiver, and myrrh. Those are great ones to work for the root chakra. And the heart chakra is all about representing our love and ability to be loved. It's anchoring our life force from our higher self. It's energizing our blood and our physical body with life force energy. So some oils that assist with the heart chakra, well, you named it. Rose, of course, is the main go-to, but also jasmine, frankincense, Palo Santo, rosewood,
of course.
patchouli, bay laurel are very good to use for the heart chakra. And the other chakra that's really, really important, and I just did a blend up the other day, a third eye blend, and the third eye is all about, represents our right to see. I don't need to talk about this one, Natasha. You need to talk about this one. But it governs our central nervous system, which is very important right now. It vitalizes our brain motor function, so that controls our emotions and our regulating response. And how important is that right now?
So go ahead. Yeah. Well, I was going to say about intuition, I keep repeating this, that because we're all being inundated with all kinds of conspiracy theories and stories and statistics and a lot of fear. And what I'm saying to people, and I've known this for a long time, that we would really need our intuition and our third eye, if you like, to be able to trust ourselves. Yes. So I think anytime we can trust ourselves and go, yeah, I know this is true, I can feel it, I know it, that's when we can relax, because we're not putting our energy out there. So I'm sorry I interrupted you, but
no, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So what are the ones for the third eye again?
For the third eye, I would like to work with spikenard, peppermint you could use, neroli, lemongrass is good, eucalyptus, clary sage is very profound, black pepper, black spruce, to name a few.
Okay. I'm going to get those in my cupboard now. So
yes,
I can just keep improving my intuition.
And when our chakras are balanced, our life force has increased, and we function better. We're more grounded, we feel more in our bodies, and we live more in the moment.
Can I just ask you something about the chakras? Because I think this probably goes back to Reiki again. When we open the show, we may have to, I just want to repeat that in case people couldn't hear it. I know that sometimes, the chakras are energy vortices, right, that spin. Sometimes they spin in the opposite direction. In Reiki, are you able, or aromatherapy or both, are you able to correct those and get them all spinning in the right direction and I'd say incongruency?
Yes, the Reiki does balance the endocrine system and the chakra system. And again, it might obviously take more than one session to do this. However, it is a process of correction and healing. And that's what's so beautiful about the oils too, because they work hand in hand as a synergy to assist each other. Did that answer your question? I think I missed something.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it feels right. We've just got a question from Ben Singleton here.
I see that.
Is there an oil to protect me from COVID-19? God, you'd be very rich if you could come up with that.
Ben, I've got an answer for you. I've been watching and listening to Robert Tisserand, who's the guru and safety essential oil master. And unfortunately, the news is at this time, there is not a cure with essential oils for the COVID-19. However, if we keep our immune system strong, that hopefully if we do come in contact with it again, we should be able to fight it off. So keep our immune system strong. And I do have a list of oils that will help keep our immune system strong, and I certainly can read those out to you if you like.
While you're looking for that, Deanna,
Yeah.
I did get an email again, do you believe it or don't you, but it was along the same lines, protecting yourself from any virus with high doses of vitamin C, magnesium, zinc, and D3.
I've heard
What
that, yeah.
Yeah, but again, it just made sense to me, because if we're taking the vitamins we need and maybe we don't know what we need, so I could see the aromatherapy really complementing what we're already taking, and just making sure that we're staying strong, not just in the body, but in the mind, right? And in the emotions.
Yeah. And that's what's so
Beautiful.
powerful. Just the inhalation getting into our system and the limbic brain releasing those chemical to help strengthen. Like when you smell, let's give you another example that I haven't talked about. Okay, let's talk about lemon oil, for instance. Let's say it's the middle of the afternoon and I'm feeling like I just want to have a nap, but I can't because I'm going to go on a live show. What can I do to help clear my mind and sort of pep me up, so to speak, to present? And I went lemon oil. So I inhaled some lemon oil, which goes to the limbic brain system, which then tells me to, wake up, so to speak, and it releases that adrenals to support the chemical components in the lemon oil, if that makes sense.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love lemon. So what results do most people get from this? Do they have instant relaxation, or does it take a while?
Yeah, the results can vary, obviously, from person to person, but the possibilities are peace, joy, balance, harmony, grounding, more energy. Everyone is unique and will heal through at their own pace. But again, when I blend with intuition and purpose, and I use the correct dilution for the situation. Aromatherapy is very powerful. It's almost like less is more. For example, rose oil, it takes 60,000 roses to make 1 ounce of rose otto essential oil.
Oh my gosh, that's why it's expensive.
Imagine, yeah. So the cost is huge. So a 2 ml bottle is about $133.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's very concentrated. So we don't need a lot of essential oil to get the job done, so to speak. And so yeah, everybody will heal at their journey. I've got a couple testimonials that I really, really enjoy. I can share those if you like.
Yeah, please do. We like to hear success stories.
This is a lady that I met. She's in Vancouver. I won't tell you anything else about her other than this is what she wrote when I asked if she had a testimonial. She said, "I'm happy to write about my experience receiving distance Reiki healing during a difficult time 2 years ago. I had been suffering both emotionally and physically due to anxiety. I spoke with Deanna and we arranged for an hour session of distance healing. We spoke briefly about how I was feeling, and then I remained sitting quietly while Deanna was reading and healing my energy. Deanna sent a review of what she had read about my chakras and also some insight on what I could do to adjust my awareness and how I could help myself. The results were almost immediate. I felt renewed, a sense of self, and a feeling of strength that I hadn't felt for a long time.
Beautiful.
I felt very grateful for Deanna's focus and attention spent on helping me gain improved self-awareness and a sense of being." And I just, yeah.
And that was Reiki.
Yeah.
That was with Reiki.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I did actually send her in the mail an aromatherapy blend as well.
Awesome.
Another one that I have, a recent one, is Deanna's a Reiki master. She's done 2 distance Reiki treatments on me over the past couple months, and it's been magic. I was a wee bit skeptical at first, wondering how she could possibly do Reiki on me when I wasn't with her.
Right.
But it totally worked. I highly recommend it, especially during these times of intense and stressful times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we just had a question come up on the screen. If I have, it's Ben again. Hi, Ben. If I have a functioning liver and at least 1 kidney, what toxins am I removing with my body with special teas?
I have a functioning liver. Say that again.
Yeah. Functioning liver and at least 1 kidney, what toxins am I removing with my body with special teas? Interesting question.
Yeah, I think he's maybe referring to herbal teas, which I'm not 100% adverse in. But I do know that the liver is absolutely where we cleanse. And I do know that aromatherapy gets into the liver. And that's why we do have to be aware of what we're putting in our bodies and for what purpose. We don't want to be drinking essential oils, and we don't want to be applying too much for too long. Each person is quite specific, and that's my training. I've become part of our British Columbia Alliance of Aromatherapists, and I have ongoing training, but I'm also certified and registered through that with like a registered aromatherapist would be. Yeah.
And what
like a registered massage therapist would be.
Okay.
So I don't know if I answered that, Ben. I just know that if I was doing work with you, I would absolutely need to know, a history about what's happening with you so that we could make wise choices.
Yeah, we're going to give Deanna's information out at the end of this broadcast, so you can contact Deanna, and I highly recommend giving more information than less, because you don't want to be getting the wrong thing. So I think Deanna needs a bit more information on that, and I'm sure she could help you. So what are your favorite blends, Deanna?
I have a few, of course. I've talked a little bit about the inhaler and the bath salts, but I also really like to make aromatherapy sprays, and they're more for an intention. So example, one of my favorites, and everybody in the neighborhood seems to be ordering, I need a refill, is my love blend spray. So it's a 2-ounce mister with distilled water and a few drops of rose. Of course, that's about love, jasmine, and geranium. And so you can simply shake the spray before you're going to use it. Never, ever, ever spray in your eyes. And you can use it with your intention. So I would spray it at my front door so that anybody and everybody that comes to visit would feel the love in my home. And now I'm spraying for love to return to my home when we can. And or you can just spray yourself. You can spray your pillow. This is a nice one too to help wind down in the evening. Love blend. Or you can add a little passion to your world with your partner with the love blend.
So do you spray that around can you spray it around?
Yeah, you can spray it over your aura. You can spray your hand and inhale. Another one that I really like to work with is a joy and abundance spray. And joy and abundance is for the intention of what your joy and abundance is. So if you have a home business and you want the phone to ring more and you need more money coming in, then you can mist around your phone. If you're wishing for more abundant health, you can spray yourself with the intention of health.
Beautiful.
Yeah. If you want people in the kitchen to clean up after themselves so you have more joy, hey, spray in the kitchen for more joy.
I think you can make a fortune on that one.
Less work, more time. I should make one for
that.
There
you go. There you go. More money, less work. How about that one?
Of course, I have a sanitized spray at the moment.
Oh, okay.
No need to talk about that one, or maybe I do. It's made with over 70% alcohol and some essential oils that are high in antiviral, antibacterial properties, so that you can take it with you when you're in a pinch shopping.
I work on door handles and
Yeah,
things like that.
you took the words out of my mouth. Absolutely.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a psychic. I have a bad habit of doing that. Very bad. Yeah.
And my other favorite one is my gratitude spray. And this to me is white light protection. And it smells amazing. And I use it on my son. Well, he's a teenager now, so not so much. But every day before he'd go off to school, I'd give him a little shake and a little spray. And I'd say, make a wish. Or sometimes I wouldn't even say anything and just know that he's heading off to school with this white light protection love.
Wow. I love the sound of those 4. Now, are you able to put those in a package as a gift basket or do
I
you
just
sell them
did do up a
separately?
gift basket, and it's something I certainly can do. And I will do. I love to do one-on-one blending, but I certainly can do packages. I can do anything.
Of course you can, darling. Of course you can. So I really like the sound of those sprays that you just showed me. But what do you think? I know we kind of touched on this, but if you were going to send out a gift, just a kind of a general one to anybody that's feeling stressed right now, would you send out those 4 sprays or would you send out something different, Deanna?
I would send out those sprays. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Because I like the sound of those. They make sense to me. So no spraying in the eyes, just around the aura, on the hands. And that applies to all of them as well, even the sanitizer one. Yeah, awesome. So we're not going to be like Donald Trump recommending people ingest bleach into their lungs.
No.
We don't want to listen to that, but it's pretty entertaining. So how can clients order from you? If they want to talk to you and get kind of an assessment, are they committed to, just by talking to you, or are you okay
No.
with? Yeah,
Absolutely.
okay.
If somebody wants to connect with me, I'm happy to answer their questions. I'm on Vancouver Island, and my email, I believe, is in
Yeah.
my email is there. My Facebook is there. I'm on Instagram, and I check my emails regularly so I can answer your questions, do some blends, do some distance Reiki.
You can do anything. It's magic, right?
Sure.
I have one final question. I'm going to be talking to somebody next week on my Facebook Live about, he does artwork, which is immersive art, and it's all about frequency. And so do you think the power of the oils and the essence, is the smell, is the frequency of the aromatherapy? Or is it the smell that triggers a memory for us or an association?
I think
Or
it's
both?
both. I know
Yeah.
I know essential oils, and I'm still fascinated in learning more about this. But the essential oils, because they're living energy, their nature, they have healing frequency. And rose apparently has the highest frequency of all the essential oils, which is obviously why we use it for the heart, and it's a go-to oil for many things.
Yeah.
So I do believe, yes, that the essential oils have frequency, have intention. Yes.
And so if somebody couldn't afford to spend $133 on a bottle of rose oil, they could just go smell a rose.
Yes.
And that would do something for them, right?
Yeah. And that's why having a professional blender is helpful, because I have about over 60 oils. So to stock your own shelf is quite expensive. And again, you don't need a lot. So the oils do last for some time.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to thank you so much, Deanna. You've really educated me. It sounds very complex, but we need people like you to make sure that we're not putting it in the wrong place or taking the wrong thing, and doing it safely. Just because it's natural doesn't mean to say we can take it willy-nilly.
Absolutely.
And really hope people listening today, and for anybody who does miss any of these Facebook Lives, they can know that these are going up on YouTube as well, Natasha Rosewood. And we've had a few people checking in. Melanie, hi Melanie. She actually is on the island too. I think she's in Comox, if I remember right. She sends me hugs, but maybe you two can hook up. And I knew her from the Sunshine Coast. My dear friend Gary has also come on. And Suzanne, also Odeon, she said, what is your guest name? Deanna Papineau. Deanna Papineau. And her email will come up on the screen. She says, hey, we're neighbors. I'm down the road in Bowser. So you guys can check
Beautiful.
in. And Suzanne, didn't I know you from Whistler? Didn't I first meet you in, there's Deanna's email if you want to get in contact. Suzanne, I've known her a long time, and I think I met her in Whistler too. Anyway, maybe she'll respond to that if she comes back on, so you can check in. So I'm going to thank you. I'm just going to do some finishing touches to this live, but please stay with us if you want to, Deanna.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for the work you do, for all the healing and helping us relax. So I did forget at the front end of the Facebook Live, we had all the problems with the audio. I just wanted to let some of you know who don't know me that I am a spirit healer, spirit medium, quantum healer, author, and ghostbuster. Actually, I'm going to ask Deanna if she's got anything for ghosts, but we'll get back to that on another show. And I'm still offering, and have been forever, offering readings on the phone or by Zoom during this time. Actually, 75% of my clients do phone readings with me. So don't let it stop you from getting a psychic reading, whether it's from me or somebody else. I'm doing past life regressions, quantum healing. Quantum healing helps you change your reality. So, and I do have a grounding meditation for that. My 3 books are available on Amazon and Kindle. The title's going around the bottom of the scroll right now. And, you know, this information will help you get through these interesting times. I have a lot of readers who just love my books. I write with a sense of humor, some great stories, really about humanity and how wonderful we are. We're imperfect, but we're wonderful. I really love humanity. And then, yeah, I'm also on my website. I've got a whole page devoted to jokes. It's called Funnies or Laugh Therapy. You go to Laugh Therapy and you look at the funnies. I think we've got about 3 pages of jokes, and some of them are really funny because they come from England. So you know how us Brits have a great sense of humor. And if you have any jokes or any stories of healing or people being really great humans, I'd love to hear those stories. I can put them on my blog. And if you send me a great story, a great joke, I'll send you a grounding meditation. How's that? That'll just help you go to sleep or help you just chill, and it'll help you step into a new reality as well. So I like to end these broadcasts with just a shout out to everybody who is on the front line, whatever they're doing, driving trucks, working in the grocery store. Sorry to hear about the people working in the chicken plants. Obviously the doctors and nurses, the front line, the paramedics, the police. Really, thank you so much, and I hope people are treating you with the respect that you deserve. I also want to send a big heart out to Nova Scotia, because those people there are going through a lot of grief. I'm very fond of Nova Scotia. It's one of my favorite provinces in Canada, and the people are so friendly and warm and loving and funny. It just breaks my heart that they're going through this horrible tragedy. And, you know, again, the man that was the shooter, you know, what was going on for him, and we don't want a repeat of this at all. So it's so important to keep an eye on each other. How are we doing in this crisis? And I always say it's the quiet ones you got to watch. So really check in with each other and make sure that, you know, you don't have a pressure cooker going on there, and do something about it before it gets too late. So let's just really take care of each other's emotions while we're going through this. So finally, I just want to say a little prayer of, I'm just going to ask you to close your eyes And just take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale any tension, pain, aches, fears out of your mouth. And then again, just imagine that beautiful rose crystal ball hovering virtually above your body and just emptying everything that you don't want in your body into that rose crystal ball. And when we've got rid of all those negative thoughts, all those conspiracy theories, all that fear, we're going to ask your higher self, your guides and angels to come in and transmute anything that's of a lower frequency into, how about we transmute it into some beautiful aromatherapy from Deanna and some beautiful Reiki that we're receiving right now, and accepting that with gratitude and peace and joy and love. Amen. So be it, and so it is. Well, thank you for everybody for joining me. I love to hear from you all, and spread the word. Please share this video if you feel so inclined. If you know somebody it would help. And take care of yourself. Stay home. Stay sane. Namaste. Thank you, Deanna. Bye.